So I'm gonna play the audio of Lou Will talking about the MVP race and Cade. Let's get into it.
Great time right now as far as young stars and not even up and coming as far as I'm concerned. I think they've arrived. But if you kind of look at, Cade, top 8 players in the league, Wemby's up there as well. Where are you putting him, Lou? Talk to me.
He's in a conversation. I think the list is make believe, but he's in a conversation right along with the rest of his peers, right along with the Maxis of the world, right along with the Ant-Mans and the Lucas and the Wembys. He's in that class. I remember us last season having a conversation about all of these young guys and it being a changing of the guard of, some of our legendary acts kind of fading out and these young guys taking over the league and being the new faces and being the new pillars of our game right now. And Cade Cunningham is in that conversation. Now, where you want to rank him, it all depends. If I said he was number 1, Lakers fans would be mad and they will make a case for Luka. If I said Luka, Detroit fans are going to be mad. Tyrese Maxey fans are going to be mad, so on and so forth. This is a strong class of young guys that's going to push this game forward, and that's going to change the landscape of the game. And I love it. And Cade is right there in that conversation wherever you want to rank him. Is he a top 8 player in the entirety? Absolutely. I would give him that respect. I think he's top 2 in the MVP conversation with everything that he's been able to do, But again, there's a lot of basketball to be played. And if I'm Cade, if I'm Detroit, I'm happy and I'm excited that we're even in this conversation, but I don't get full off of those things. I try to accomplish everything that I can one night at a time in the NBA, and that's something they've been successful in.
All right, so, basically first he was kind of really getting into the point where just in a vacuum, not MVP of, you prefer him or Luka. I think no Laker fan gonna get mad. I think, they understand now why Luka was for trade. I don't think this is being talked about enough. And I'm gonna do a video on the main channel. But yeah, we at the halfway point. Who gonna finish strong? This is where they ramp it up. Kind of hear 97 on the ticket kind of allude to it. It sounds like a lot of hate and bitterness, but within hate and bitterness, there's some truth. Just like they say, every joke has some truth to it. And yeah, it's some truth. It's some truth to that. Like a lot of these teams gonna really try to ramp it up around playoff time. I definitely agree with them. So really, how you finish? A lot of these guys not being durable. One of the superpowers of a guy like Anthony Edwards is his durability for the most part. And he's built different. You know what I'm saying? Like Cade, I think a lot of these guys, one thing I'm really an advocate for these guys staying in college, even without being paid. You know what I'm saying? And one of the reasons I'm an advocate for that, because I remember I heard a story and Kevin Garnett talked about, I think they was at the combine or they was at the private workout, might have been an NBA combine. And he was talking about how Kevin Durant, Jerry Stackhouse. Jerry Stackhouse was one of the players, but I couldn't remember who. It was Jerry Stackhouse. They was all in the same draft. He came out of high school, if you know the story. He was going to Michigan. He failed the ACT, SAT at first, and then, he didn't know if he was going to pass, and he entered the draft, and, by that time, he had passed, but he was in, Isaiah Thomas told him he was already a NBA player, so he stayed, he went there, and he was at the combine. He couldn't bench press like 185 pounds, right? And all like Jerry Stackhouse and some of the veterans that were at the combine started laughing at him. He said he got mad. You know what I'm saying? He's motivated them. But a lot of what I'm pretty much alluding to is that a lot of these kids, you see a lot of these injuries, and you hear people talking about where they're not hydrated enough, the nutrition, and I agree with all of that, right? Or they don't strength train enough. They said Akeem Olajuwon, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he did yoga and all this other stuff. I think one of the big reasons is they going into a grown man's league with a teenage body. Body development. When you go to college, it's body development. They got strength conditioning in college. You're running. Your body is also maturing. I think a lot of these guys' body isn't ready to be playing against grown men 82 nights. 82 nights. Even though they don't practice that much in the NBA. Anymore, they're not ready for it. So I think a really good 2 or 3 years in college, just like the NFL. The high school player went to the NFL. Most of them, they getting clipped. They going to the upper room damn near. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I think a lot of it's under body development. I think these guys don't come in ready. LeBron is an anomaly. Daryl Dawkins is an anomaly. Some of these dudes that come into the league, Kevin Garnett figured it out, but some of these guys that make the jump from high school or Maybe if Brandon Jennings, would have went to college and built himself up and physically strong, he probably wouldn't have got injured the way he did. I think a lot of these guys, you jumping into the deep end of the pool before they really master swimming. I think that becomes a problem. But as far as MVP role voting right now, for me, Shea, Cade, Jaylen Brown, that's what I think it is. I love what Maxey doing, love what Ant-Man doing, but I think it's a three horse race. Shea is in his bag. You got to give him his respect. I think Wemby is about to really, make that next step, man. Honestly, but right now, OKC is the king. They're the king. Shea is the king right now. Like his shoe. Really, it's really this whole international push by Adam Silver in the NBA. It was really Davis 32, 4, 6, and people look at this number the most. This is the number they look at the most. Remember, it was a whole thing when Jokic won the MVP, and the whole thing was he didn't average this many points. I mean, I thought it was the most valuable, not the higher scoring, but this the number, 32 points a game. They don't give a fuck about this. This is a great number. Shooting almost 56% from the field is amazing. Many free throws he take 89% from the free throw line, almost 40% from the field. And what Jaylen Brown is doing, this, creating separation, is one of the best. They really trying to ban him from the NBA from some of the stances that he took. And anybody that go entrepreneurship and try to break the matrix, you got a 30 ball every night, and he's shutting people down. 7 rebounds, 5 assists. He doing it all. Almost a 50 ball from the from the field goal. 37, almost 36% from three over that. 77 from the field. I mean, separating himself, man. He's established himself as a true, probably, really, if you stop going off name recognition, he's probably established himself as a top 5 player in this league. And then obviously let's throw Tyrese Maxey in there. I love that kid, man. I wanted the Pistons to draft him over no, I'm gonna spell his name all wrong. Over what's the brother's name? Over Killian or who was the other one we took? Or Sadiq Bey, it was Killian Isaiah Stewart. I love Stu now. No, don't get mad, Stu. No more low sodium beef, Stu. 29 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 47%. I'm impressed by these field goal percentages. 47% flat, over almost 39% from the three, 88%. You cannot not love this guy, man. And then you come on Anthony Edwards, personally one of my favorite players. Not Anthony Peeler. We brought up KG and then Anthony Peeler. If you don't know, just put KG and Anthony Peeler in the YouTube and then go to the comment section. Let me know what you find. Man, phenomenal. 30 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3.6 assists, almost 50% from the field, 41% from three, which is honestly pretty scary. Just under 80% from the free throw line. That's fucking scary with his athletic ability, his ability. He just continues to improve, bro. Him and Cade is some scary dudes, man, with their size and their ability. And then we got Cade, 25 points a game, 5.7 rebounds, almost 10 assists, 46% from the field, 33 from three, 81.2%, 81.9% from free throws. So in the assist category, he balling. In the winning category, he balling. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting race, man. But right now, down the stretch, Parker Cunningham is gonna have to separate himself, and he defending. So we need to talk about that. He defending. He locking shit up. So that that should go into the MVP race as well too. So hey, check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.